Welcome to the Ghost Fartic Podcast, where we bring speakers, entrepreneurs, and people of wonderful interest from around the globe straight to your doorstep. In this episode, Malka Baradarian from Los Angeles, a master educator, is sharing some of her gems of Torah. Enjoy, and let's dive right in.
Rabbi Avram Tversky brings down a beautiful concept of self-esteem and self-worth through the Parshat Shlach, to the story of the spies. The background goes that the Jewish people just left Egypt and they witnessed all of the miracles Hashem did for them during the Exodus and the daily miracles that happened when they were in the desert. Now they were getting ready to enter the land of Canaan, the land of Eretz Yisrael, to conquer. But before they set forth to do that, they decided that they need to send spies to scout the land and to see what are the nations that are living there. So Moshe sent 12 spies, 12 great leaders from each of the tribes. 10 came back with a demoralized report. As it says in Sefer Devarim, the pasuk says as follows: "The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people we see in it are of great height. We seem to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seem to them." We're going to be focusing on this end of this pasuk where it says, "We were like grasshoppers in our eyes, and so we were in their eyes," in the land of the Canaanim. Rabbi Tversky says that the Torah teaches us a psychological principle of greatest importance. The way you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, is how others will perceive you. Rashi expands on this concept. He writes that the spies said that they heard the Canaanim, the Canaanites, say, "Look, there are ants crawling in our vineyards." But wait, didn't the Torah just tell us that the spies said that they felt like grasshoppers, which are still much larger than ants? How did the spies know what the Canaanim were saying? How could they understand their language? Here, Rashi is teaching us that low self-esteem is progressive and self-reinforcing. If you have a distorted negative self-concept, it will continue to deteriorate within you. You may begin feeling as small as a grasshopper, but your self-image will shrink, and you will eventually think even less about yourself. And then in turn, you will also think that other people are making negative comments about you, even if you're not privy to what they are saying. Now, can we really overcome our self-esteem and our negative self-talk? There's a midrash that tells us that Hashem told the spies that He forgives them for saying they felt like grasshoppers in their own eyes. But when they said, "And so we were like grasshopper in their eyes," He did not forgive. Why is that so? Chazal teach us, our sages teach us, that a distorted negative self-image is an emotion. We know plenty of people who are successful, beautiful, and smart, and you can factually confirm this, but you can see that they have profoundly low self-esteem. Saying that whatever the source of low self-esteem, it's an emotion that's not altered by factual reality, meaning a person is successful, beautiful, smart, but they still don't feel good about themselves. So how do we overcome this negative self-talk, this negative outlook, this low self-esteem? The Baal HaTanya explains that it's innate within human being that intellect can triumph over emotion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is such a key point of our philosophy in Judaism, that our intellect can triumph over our emotions, and we shouldn't let our emotions outweigh our intellect. Going back to the Midrash, it says that Hashem forgave the spies for having poor self-concept. That's an emotion that takes time to overcome. But He did not forgive them for exercising their intellect and not acting according to it. Here we see that having the tribal leaders, having witnessed the miracles of the Exodus, They should have known intellectually that God would send them into Canaan, into what would become Eretz Yisrael. He wouldn't send them there to be destroyed. He would have helped them succeed in the wars, even if they themselves felt like they are incapable. There's a pasuk that says, Bishvili ha'olam nivra. For me, this world was created. And this is a key point in overcoming that negative self-talk and that self-image, distorted self-image that many people of this generation carry. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created this world. And if each one of us was not in it, the world would not be able to move forward. Each one of us has an inherent value, and we are so valuable that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that we need to be in this world in order to fulfill whatever destiny that we have, so that the world can become a more better and a more complete place. If not for anything, remember that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created you, and He loves you, and He wants you to succeed, and He wants you to understand how valuable you are. If we look at even David HaMelech, he was thrown out of his father's home. He was considered a mamzer. There was question as to whether David HaMelech's father, really thought that he was the dad. But what happened? Even though he was outcast, even though he was one of the uglier brothers, even though he wasn't as tall and handsome and as beautiful as his other brothers, ultimately he became David Melech Yisrael. Be'ezrat Hashem, you should know your value, you should know your self-worth, and you should fulfill whatever destiny that you have in this world until 120, and it should be successful, and it should be b'simcha. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining us on our Go Sephardic podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you liked it, and we hope you share it. Until next time.